Very big decision in the coming year, as in who will lead the so-called free world. And there's absolutely nothing fresh about the choices likely to be on the table. An 81-year-old incumbent whose mental fitness is constantly in question and whose recalcitrant son faces multiple criminal indictments involving, but hardly limited to, his questionable business dealings, which have drawn intense and continuing scrutiny. On the other side of the political ledger, a former president approaching 78 years of age, mired in a multifaceted net of criminal indictments and civil claims ranging from tax evasion to inciting a treasonous insurrection. Is it any wonder that both candidates are viewed unfavorably by a majority of American voters? And yet the duopoly's iron grip on our nation's political system has ensured we will have no other viable option come November. Panel, is there any chance any of Donald Trump's 91 criminal charges will disqualify him? And I'm going to start with you, Holly, because you keep an eye on them all.
Yes, it looks like, Trump is headed to be the Republican nominee. He's leading in all of the polls. Interestingly enough, he leads slightly in matchups with Biden. But I think what's telling is that you see Kennedy, this third-party candidate, surging. He's not going to win the nomination, but the question is, which party is he going to draw more votes from? I think Biden is going to have additional issues in his re-election challenge as we look at the economy. Even though the rate of inflation has slowed, we're still looking at inflated prices. American families are still paying more for the things that they need, and so that's always a concern. And now, of course, we have the specter of a possible impeachment happening sometime between now and the election. So a little fatigue with these candidates, but yet Americans seem willing to put one or the other of those two in the White House again.
All right, let's move to Frustration Station with Marcus Davis. I mean, the prospects ahead don't look very promising for a lot of Americans.
No, they don't look promising at all. And, this nation has to pay attention to the fact that we are on a fast track to hell. If you go back to read Gibbon's Rise and Fall of the Roman Empire, you'll see glaring resemblance between what we're doing now and what led to the Roman Empire's decline, what led to the British Empire's decline. And here we are, just going along to get along, willing to elect, and the sad part about this is Democrats didn't even give America a chance. They did their party a disservice, and they did America a disservice by not even holding a primary. I mean, Gavin Newsom decided to get the testicles to go and debate DeSantis. For what reason? I don't know. Slaughtered him, but nonetheless, why didn't he take that on the presidential stage? And I thought that was oppressive. I thought it was suppressive. I thought it did American citizens a disservice. And here we go down this rabbit hole, and we're just going along to get along. And you could have described both of those people the same way, because Trump's mental fitness is in question, and his son is a little recalcitrant as well.
All right, Tony Diaz, pivot off your good friend Marcus Davis there.
Well, let's go from theory to practice. We know who the two front runners are, and I want to encourage every Republican watcher right now, stick to your guns. If you believe Donald Trump should be the Republican candidate, you should go ahead and support him full tilt. Why? Because Biden's got his number. Like Biden says, he will beat him like a drum again. And if we don't want to be logical, let's do this. Let's just say one thing. People talk about the age of Biden versus Trump. We've forgiven Trump's mistake. We've forgiven Trump's irrational statements. They're both equal as far as speaking in public. And they're both the same age. They could have gone to high school together. One could have been a junior, one could have been a senior. So maybe we have a push-up contest. Okay, so whichever president can do more push-ups at this age, I will vote for, because Biden actually is in better health, in better shape, and I think that Trump is lying about his weight, just like he lies about everything he's ever said about policy.
All right, I want to go to Charles Adams here, and I'm going to ask you to put on two different hats. You've seen the array of charges and the timelines on all the cases. Do you see any chance that Donald Trump gets pinned with a felony conviction before everything goes down?
I think his biggest problem that he's facing is in Georgia, right, where the governor lacks the ability to pardon him. And it does seem like they have the elements of that crime, right, which in Georgia, it's a state law, it's a little bit novel. but it pertains to trying to influence the outcome of an election, right? I think that Jack, the attorney that is prosecuting Trump in Florida, which he's kind of given up on because he's gotten some bad rulings, and focusing on his new judge who is very aggressively anti-Trump, and inappropriately so, in the District of Columbia. But I think those are going to be the hardest. I think the Supreme Court is going to weigh in on his First Amendment rights to make statements, and although January 6th was a bad thing, I don't think they're going to be able to pin that on the president. So it's really going to come down to timing in Georgia, I think. But the reason and you know, my panelist to my left sounds a lot like Democrats did when he was selected as Hillary Clinton's opponent in 2016. Oh, support Trump, because we're going to kick his ass, right? And the truth is that Trump is, well, and I am no Trump fan at all. I'm not a Biden fan either. But Trump has this whole I'm a martyr, because most Americans think, well, you know, he probably wouldn't be getting, you know, prosecuted but for the fact that he is the political outlier.
We'll be watching all year long.